In today's class, I'm going to talk about the grid system. So let me take you to getbootstrap.com. Inside this, in the layouts option, you can see that there is a grid system. So what is meant by the grid system? So Bootstrap grid system uses a series of containers, rows, and columns to lay out and align content. It's built with a flexbox and is fully responsive. So this is what is called as the grid system. And so the grid system has got it works. Okay, so the grid system supports 6 responsive breakpoints. Let us look into what are meant by breakpoints. So these breakpoints are called as, so you can see that these are also called as grid tiers. Bootstrap includes a 6 default breakpoints, sometimes referred to as grid tiers. Okay, we also call it as grid tiers, or you also call it as the breakpoints for building responsively. Okay, so you can see that the six breakpoints are these: extra small, small, medium, large, extra large. And the class infix is something like this. Okay, so you will be writing it as call hyphen the class infix hyphen and then the number of columns. What is meant by a column over here? So let me tell you that. So Bootstrap grid system is built with Flexbox and allows up to 12 columns across the page. So each and every row is divided into 12 columns. If you do not want to use all 12 columns individually, you can group the columns together to create wider columns. The grid system is responsive and the columns will rearrange automatically depending on the screen size. Make sure that the sum adds up to 12 or fewer. It is not required that you use all 12 available columns. Okay, right. So this 4 over here that I have written will be the number of columns that you require. So it can be 1 till 12. Okay, so it can be any of the value. And so here you can see the dimensions. Okay, so this is less than 576 pixel. It means that it will work on screens less than 576 pixels, and above greater than or equal to 576 pixels is considered to be the small screens, and greater than or equal to 768 pixels is considered to be the medium screens, and greater than 992 pixels is considered to be the large screens, and then extra large greater than or equal to 1200 pixels till 1399 pixels, greater than or equal to 1400 and above, okay, is considered to be extra large breakpoints. Okay, screens. So these are called as breakpoints. And okay, as I already told you that it is a series of containers, rows and columns to lay out and to align the content. So the first thing that I need to do is I need to take the container. So let me take the container. You can also take container fluid, no problem. But let me take the container. So inside the container, I'm taking one more div and I'm saying class div class is equal to row. So the series need to be in this way. Okay, so inside the row, each and every row it will be having 12 columns. Let me actually draw that and show you. So if this is the row, okay, so if this is the entire row, it is divided into 12 columns like this. Okay, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. So if you want to place a paragraph for the 4 columns, you can place it like this. And next, if you want to place some heading or whatever for 6 columns, you can place it like this. Okay, so this is how actually we arrange the elements onto the screen across the rows and rows in terms of the columns. So in each row is divided into 12 columns. So I am taking the row now, and then I am taking the column. Okay, so I'm taking the column. So I'm saying div class is equal to col. Okay, so then I'm closing this and I'll write something over here. So I'll say column and then I'll close the div tag over here. Okay, so I'll say col and then I'll say this is column 1 and then I'll say this is column 2. Okay, column 2, close the div. Okay, and then I'm giving one more column. Okay, copy this and paste over here. So this is column 3. Okay, and then I'm closing the div of the row. Okay, fine. So let me actually save this and we'll see how this appears on the browser. So this is my Bootstrap 5 example. So you can see that I got column, column, column. Okay, so column 1, column 2, column 3. The 12 columns have been divided in across these 3 columns. Okay, so the first column took the 4 columns, second column took 4, and the third column took 4. So if you want to make the difference, like how much it has taken, I'm giving a color to this particular column. So I'm giving, so I'm saying success. Okay, so BG success. And let me give another color to this particular column. So I'm saying BG info. And then I'll give another color to this particular column, which is BG primary. Okay, so let me save this and come over here and then refresh this. You can see that since I gave container, so I got a margin, and you can see equally these 3 columns have been split. Okay, when I bring my screen closer, we'll take that observation. So I'm minimizing the screen. Okay, so I'm bringing the screen closer. So as I bring the screen closer, you can see that it is responsive. Press Ctrl Shift I, okay, and take the console. So I'm taking the console, okay, and you can see if you reduce the dimensions. Okay, so let me give the dimension less than okay, so you can see that it is responsive. Okay, it's adjusting to that. As I bring it bigger, okay, so it is trying to adjust itself to the screen because I didn't give anything. Now why it is keeping to be 3 columns is that I didn't give anything, I just have given call. So Bootstrap itself is taking the control of adjusting it across the screen. Okay, right. So now let me actually give the responsiveness and the column. So I'm saying on large screens. Okay, so I'm saying on, let me take medium screens. On medium screens, I'm asking it to take 4. Okay, and next I'm taking again, I'm mentioning that on what it needs to take 4. So on the medium screens, I'm asking it to take 4. Okay, so let me save this and see once again how it is behaving. Okay, so let me refresh this and show you. Okay, so as I bring it closer, okay, so let me close my console. Okay, so this is the screen, right? Okay, so this is how it is on the medium screens. Okay, so when I bring it close, okay, so when I make it small, okay, so when I make it small, what happened is it stacked up, the column stacked up. Why this happened is, let me take you to this responsiveness thing. So here in this particular table, okay, so take a look at this particular table. So medium is somewhere over here, right? So I gave call hyphen MD. MD is the class prefix. And then I mentioned that it needs to take 4 columns on the medium screens. So when I didn't mention on small or extra small how it needs to behave, but I said on medium screens, it needs to take 4 columns. So automatically the same thing will be applied to the upper screens. Okay, so to the upper ones. So like the large screens and the extra large screens, the same thing will be applied. But on the smaller screens, okay, so something below it, like the small and extra small, each and every column will take 12, each and every item will be taking 12 columns. Okay, so each and every row now will become 12 columns. So that's the reason when I have bought it close by making it smaller, when I minimize the screens, okay, so it is stacking up. Okay, so but as I take it to the medium screens, I'm getting 3 columns. As I'm taking it large and extra large, again it still remains the same. Okay, so that is one point that we need to observe. Okay, so you can actually give multiple things over here how you want it to be. Like say for example, I want it to take 6 columns on large screens. Okay, so I'm saying on the large screens, I want the first column to take 6 columns. Okay, so first item to take 6 columns. So let me show you that. So this is Let me refresh this. Okay, so this is the largest screen, right? So that's why it has taken 6 columns. Since the third column is not having any place to take here in the first row, it has gone to the next column. But as I make it small, okay, so as I make it medium, okay, so let me bring it to the medium size. As I bring it to the medium size, it has taken 4, because I mentioned here that on medium screens, it needs to take only 4 columns. On large, I am saying that it needs to take 6 columns. Okay, so this is how it keeps adjusting its columns accordingly. How to take 2 unequal responsive columns. Okay, so say I'm having only 2 columns here. Okay, so say I'm having only 2 columns here, and I am taking the first column. I want the first column to take 8 columns. Let me take off this, and I want the next column to take the rest of the place. Okay, so I can take it off or I can keep it. Okay, so but these will be uneven. Okay, so as I refresh this, you can see this here. So I have got 2 unequal responsive columns. Okay, so as I bring it close, you can see that they're stacking up, because I mentioned it on the medium screen. So when it comes to the small, it automatically becomes 12 columns. Each and every column will become 12 columns. So this is all about the grid system, my friends. Hope this video is helpful to you. Thank you for watching.